everybody, and welcome back to the DJ and Wedding Planner podcast. I am your host, Carmen Davila Hernandez.
And I'm your other host, Tony the Hitman Hernandez. Hope you guys are having a great time. Welcome back to the podcast.
Today, we have a very special guest, someone whose lens doesn't just capture moments, but transforms them into timeless works of art. Greg Jules is a visionary behind Imagery by Jules and the creative force behind the Monochromatic Experience. Known for his striking use of light, shadow, and emotion, Greg has built a reputation for creating images that go beyond photography. They tell stories, they spark feeling, and they live on as art pieces. In today's conversation, we're going to dive into his journey as an entrepreneur and artist, explore what makes monochromatic imagery so powerful, and hear about the passion that fuels his work. Greg, welcome.
I mean, my God, Carmen, that was an incredible intro.
Thank you so much.
I'm honored. I'm flattered, and I'm very thankful that you speak so highly of me.
Of course. I mean, you're an artist. I have to say that some of my favorite pictures are from you. Like you've taken them, you've captured them. So thank you so much.
I'm honored. Thank you.
Awesome.
Well, welcome, Greg. Thank you for being here with us. We've done a couple of amazing events together.
Tony. We have.
It's great to have you on here.
I mean, thank you for even having me. I mean, I think the last event that we did together was it was timeless. It was really great. Like we had an incredible venue, great backdrops, great people, and you bought it. So thank you for having me. Absolutely.
No, definitely. So, Greg, tell us a little bit about how you got started in the industry. How long ago was it,
Wow.
and what made you become a photographer?
So give you a little background. I'm Haitian, right? So culturally, I look at my photos, and I have a few photos, and you'll be able to relate because I have a few infancy, childhood photos. Maybe I was like 5, 6. And then I have my first communion photos.
Yep.
I have those standing with the white suit, holding the what is that thing called? The rosary. Holding the rosary. So I have those photos. And then my grandmother, I have 2 photos of my grandmother before she passed. So for me, it was always like, I've always been into like the arts. I've always been into drawing and creating things. But in a Haitian household, much like a lot of Caribbean households, you have a few options as career. Right. It was doctor, lawyer, engineer, architect. So when, my mother's like, hey, you need to go to college and you need to do something. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll pick criminal justice because I can use that to pivot and become an attorney one day. But that was never my thing. Like I went to school, I got my bachelor's in criminology, and the ultimate goal was to join the FBI and to one day, become an attorney. And that wasn't it. So I've always been in love with traveling, and traveling basically sparked that interest in photography. Like being in all these different places and being able to capture the people, the essence of the food, and just the architect and the landscape. That really struck my passion. So I started back in 2013, officially is when I registered the business in Sunbiz. And that was the thing for me. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of holding this passion in because mom don't approve. I just want to, just let the world see it and share it with the world.
I love that. I have to say, you would have been a great attorney. I have to say that. I think you would have been a great attorney.
Maybe, that might be a second career. Well, a third career because I was in corporate America for 20 years, right? So
funny story. I told her many years ago, when I graduated high school, I went and I stood in front of the police station and I was going to apply to be a cop. And I never did it.
Tony.
And I went into radio and continued DJing.
And look at you now, right? I applied every police department from Miami-Dade to Fort Lauderdale to Sunrise to Boca to all these police departments, but it never went through. And I think that was because it wasn't my path.
It wasn't.
It wasn't my path. Like I was qualified. I did all these things. I passed all the things that they needed, but it just wasn't my path. So this was it. And when I tell you, I love it. I love being able to create something that families can look back at and be like, oh my God, look at this moment. Or look at, and sadly, like I've had instances where a client or past client passed away, and because of the image I captured, they were able to use that in the obituary, and I'm like, wow, and that for me is like that's powerful.
Yeah, that's an honor, definitely.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that's the thing. Photo is so important. I don't think people realize. Like, I make my family, and I know they hate this. every December, sometimes when we're lucky, it's like the end of November, and I'm like, we're doing a family
photo
session.
I agree.
Like, we have to. And everybody's like, oh no, Mom, you and your themes and the colors. But I know that one day they're gonna be like thankful that we did those family pictures, and they're gonna be able to show their kids, and their kids will have those pictures, because that's really all we have, right? Those memories, those pictures, like, that's it.
Listen, photography outlives everything else.
Yep.
You know, and we know that. Like, we look at pictures from the 1800s and the 1900s, early 1900s.
That's true.
And you're looking at these images like, wow, you know, if this wasn't here, then I would have no lineage, or I wouldn't know.
Right.
So please continue to do that.
Yeah,
They will thank you
100%.
later. As your daughter gets older, they'll be like, wow, I wish I had more of these. So
That's
no,
so
please
true.
keep doing it. Yeah.
100%. So tell us a little bit. I know you're an amazing photographer, but I know that you have started something that I just think is just so unique, and a lot of people do it. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of
absolutely.
people do this,
Yeah.
but I think this specific experience, a monochromatic experience, I think just the way that you capture us,
Yeah.
the lighting, the way you pose us,
Yeah.
I think it's game changing.
Yeah.
So I really want you to talk about that and tell us where that came from.
So, you know, and it goes back to my grandmother, right? I have two photos of my grandmother. One when she was standing next to me, it's a black and white image. I'm going to send you that image so you can have it, right? It's a black and white image, and she's sitting there just very stern, and I'm the little guy and I have the cowboy guns here with my cowboy hat on,
cute.
standing right next to her. And then my second image is from when my grandmother's 71st birthday. I think that's the same year or a year after she passed away. And I'm like, wow, in my entire lifetime, I have two photos of my grandmother. And when I was very young, and then one when I was in high school. You know, so for me, I was like, hey, you know, I'm drawn to that black and white image.
Right.
Like, I don't want anyone to ever walk into a wedding where we have uncles and sisters and cousins that you haven't seen in years sometimes, right? So when they come to this wedding, they're dressed up. Of course, yes, my job isn't to take away from the photographer, the wedding hire photographer. My job is to like capsulate and create a moment where your wedding guest can really get some really powerful images. So it came from that, because I was tired of like showing up at weddings and just taking photos. That was great, and you can get some great photos. But when you have a controlled environment, a beautiful backdrop, wherever you have florals or whatever the theme is that you have, and we can create these images. And now these images can be gifted to people and be like, oh my God, I haven't had a stunning image like this of my grandmother in years. You know, so for me, it came, in my opinion, as a necessity, a need that these clients need to walk away with some really great timeless images. Right. Because sometimes we have, Tony, where people, you know, you may have family members that don't dress up.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't dress up. So they're at this wedding, they're dressed up, they're in a suit. And I'm like, we need to capture this moment now. And yes, I can do it as a photographer shooting the wedding, documenting the wedding, but then you have all these people in your background. But as the monochromatic experience, I do it in a way where the designer or planner designs a beautiful backdrop. And now you have a moment where me and you can get together. And for me, like I said, everyone else can do it, but one of the things that I solely believe in, like, my camera gives me superpowers that I normally don't have, because I want to style you. I want to give you direction. I want to give you your best angle, especially for the ladies. I want to make sure that the hair is in place, the waist is snatched, you know, there's no flaw. You know, I'm not going to give you like this superficial plastic skin, but I want you to be flawless, right? So that's my biggest thing. And my guys, I want you to be GQ. I want you to look good. So I'm going to pose you in a very powerful pose. I'm going to pose you in a happy pose, and I'm going to pose you something that's going to be memorable and cherished, you know? So that for me was like, that was the birth of it. And because of my lack of what I didn't get with my grandmother, I want to now give that to the world.
I love that.
I mean, the experience is amazing. I mean, you did an event for us.
We did.
And the pictures that you took, I mean, it's my profile picture. I mean, it's
love
almost
it.
like headshot. Like, I mean, you can't pay for that stuff.
And listen, Tony, you know what? And you know, as a photographer, like, I shoot with such a high, like, if you take a cell phone photo and then you try to zoom in, it pixelates, you know? Because, I mean, now the new iPhone has 48 megapixels. That might be different. But what I'll provide is that same thing, a high megapixel images that you save. You know what? I love this image so much, I can crop in and now make it my headshot. And it's not going to distort that image, because you're going to get the high resolution file. And that's what's different. You're going to get a high resolution file. It's going to be edited. It's going to be posed. and everyone that encountered me. And it's a quick thing.
And it's instant.
It's instant.
Oh, geez.
It's instant.
And that was another big thing for me too, is when I initially started it, I was doing a 24-hour turnaround.
Which is still good.
Which is still great, you know, so the next morning you get it. But we live in a social media age where people want microwave. They want it now.
Yep.
You know, so I want to be able to give that instant gratification.
Right.
So now I have it set in place where you will still get that same quantity. Edited image, beautifully lit, and sent to your cell phone. After you've taken a photo, you register within, 30 seconds to a minute after you've taken that photo.
I mean, they go viral instantly. I mean,
They really do.
after our event,
Yeah.
I had like 48 hours where it was
I love
like,
that.
I mean, my IG was on fire.
I love that, though. I do. I love that. And I think that's the greatest compliment. I think the first time I did it was at the DuPont building, and it was at the event called Veils of Light. And no lie, every attendee there, everyone's profile photos changed. And I was like, it's an honor, though, because even some of my photographer peers did it. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So for me,
That's
that was a big thing.
That is
It's
so true.
to be able to have another creative, like, take pride in what you created for them. That's the biggest honor for me.
Awesome.
So let me ask you a question. I know there's a lot of other companies that do
Yes.
something similar to
Correct.
what you do. What makes your company stand out? Like,
Yeah.
what is different from the Monochromatic Experience than
Yes.
like somebody else's
Yes.
instant photo?
I love that
experience?
question, and I have peers that basically do it, and colleagues that I know they do something similar, and they all bring something special, And I think, like, you may be the cook in the house, right? You can give Tony an ingredient, right,
Yeah.
and say, Tony, I need you to make rice and peas, and here's all the ingredients, here's the garlic, here's all the sazon and everything that you need, and Tony goes and make it, and it's like, Tony, what did you use to make this,
Yeah,
right?
it's so true. Yep.
So the reality is the secret sauce is Carmen. It's Carmen hands.
Yeah.
It's the way she pours love and she nurtures into that meal. So the secret sauce in the Monochromatic Experience is what I am basically pouring into you.
Okay.
I'm big on making sure people feel and leave the experience feeling like they were like a supermodel cover in Vogue.
Yes.
That's my biggest thing. I want to pour back into you. I give, and this is going to sound crazy, I give what I required as a child. I require, because, I come from a Haitian household where, love was displayed a different way. It wasn't displayed in like emotion. Oh my God, are you
Right.
okay today? No, it was more so like, I'm feeding you, you have food at home, be a happy kid. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm giving that nurturing back into you. I'm speaking life back into you. Oh my God, you're gorgeous. Because it happens so quickly. So the experience may only be like 12 to 15 seconds.
It's that confidence you give us.
It's the confidence.
It's
That confidence, So I'm pouring that back into you, and everyone that works for me, they understand that's a requirement.
Yeah.
Now, aside from that confidence, I want to make sure that the lighting is perfect, because I want to show you as flawless and as perfection as you can perceive yourself. So I'm going to show that. That's two, and then the last one is just going to be, hey, that instant gratification. That's a great thing. So you're having a great experience, you're having beautifully lit images, and then now you're having that right away.
Right away. That's what we want. That's this generation
Listen, they want it
also,
now.
and even us.
Yeah.
We're like, right now.
Right now. We were spoiled, and I talked earlier, and I was like, we grew up in the dial-up age.
Yeah.
I grew up
Yeah.
where internet was
Of course.
doo-doo-doo, it's AOL, it's
That's
going,
so
it's
funny.
thinking.
So true.
So I'm like, I came from that age. I don't understand why now I want stuff instantly, which is wild.
I know.
All the time.
It's crazy.
Everybody you haven't sent me your contract. You haven't sent me this. You haven't sent me your
Yep.
pictures. And
Yep.
it's like,
Or when the internet is slow, we're all dying. We're
Oh
like,
my God.
We're like, what's going on with the internet? Why is it so slow?
It's crazy because I had Xfinity, right? And now I went over to AT&T, and AT&T has their whatever cable it is.
Yes.
the fiber.
Yes.
Yo,
Yeah.
the speed?
Really?
I was thinking Comcast was fast. AT&T fiber is Jimmy John's fast.
Wow.
Nice.
It is insane. I'm like,
We
this
used
is
to have
wild.
Comcast many moons ago, and
Yeah.
now we have, what is it, Blue Stream? Because it's part
Yeah.
of our association.
The association, yeah.
So Tony makes us
Yes.
use it, and it's terrible, and we're always
But no,
dying.
I'm not. Listen, AT&T is not plugging,
This-
paying me.
yes, they're
But
not
if AT&T,
sponsoring us.
if you choose to sponsor us, I would advocate your internet service is insane. Because I can tell you, like, after shooting a wedding, I delivered yesterday a file, and it was, I think, 2,900 files, raw files, which means it
Wow.
was 123 gigs.
Right.
of-
Huge.
Oh my God.
That's massive. It uploaded within 45 minutes.
Wow.
I was like, what?
The upload
with
speed.
Comcast, that took me 3 days. No jokes, 3 days. So yeah. So we live in that instant society. So I want to definitely. This is why I'm like, hey. So when I show up, I have an editor with me. He's going through, and it's not something that he has to manage. Like, with the use of AI, like all things are possible now, right?
Right.
So he basically goes through the AI process. It gets done, and then they upload it, and you have this QR code you scan. You register, photo comes directly to you. And every photo you take, let's say we have an event, every photo you take that night with me, you don't have to re-register. The software that I'm using will recognize facial recognition, and it'll send you those images,
cool. I love
which
that.
is crazy.
And you also do this in color. It's not just
Yes.
black and white.
So
let's
that's
have that conversation.
So that's the thing. Listen, and I want people to understand, like, a black and white image and a versus of a color image, it as a photographer, as an editor, it's a push of a button. And then now you have these photos in color, so it's not like I only do, and I want people to understand, as a photographer, we have options,
Right.
So I'll be at wedding week, right? And at wedding week, Carmen made it very clear, hey, listen, I want these in color. No problem. Done. So if they want both options, I can give both options. I can give you black and white and color, and that's no additional cost to the client. It's that it's your preference. Just know that it's going to be that same care. You're still going to have that dynamic lighting, that gives you that really bold, punchy image, beautifully edited, and you'll have that instant gallery. So there's no hiccup in the process at all.
Love that. Love the options.
Absolutely. Options are important.
Yeah, no, that's definitely, great, because everybody wants options nowadays. And they
Absolutely.
want something different,
Yeah. And here's the reality. There are some things that look great. Like I've like things that are moodier, darker in color.
Right.
They look like they punch more in black and white.
Yeah.
So if everyone is having like a suit and tie wedding, right? And most of the guys are wearing dark color suits and the women are wearing beautifully colored gowns. I mean, oftentimes at weddings they're wearing darker colored gowns, right? That looks punchy. It looks incredible in black and white. If you're having a more airy, light, beige, that works too, because the veils of light, that was the thing. That works as well. But some things do look better. Like if you have something that's very punchy, very colorful, and it's to match the aesthetics or the theme of the event, of course we can do color. Like it's a no-brainer. Absolutely.
And
now what we're going to do is going to be incredible. So I can't wait for that. Yeah, that's going to be crazy.
How can people find you about the Monochromatic Experience?
That's a great question.
Website, Instagram?
So definitely the website, Instagram is all the same. It's at that's THE, Monochromatic, MONOCHROMATIC Experience, EXPERIENCE. So it's at the Monochromatic Experience on Instagram. It is the monochromaticexperience.com on the website. So it'll take you to my, the birth of the company is Imagery by Jules. That is the umbrella. The Monochromatic Experience is, a subsidiary under the Imagery by Jules.
And we'll put it in the description down below so
Absolutely.
people can follow. So let's talk a little bit about the weddings and,
Yes.
and you as a photographer.
Yes.
So tell me one of your most memorable weddings that you've ever done.
And I wouldn't say, so it wasn't a wedding. So I'll give you one
Or
of the
an
most
event.
memorable experience in events, and I went there thinking, oh my God, I'm just going to go. I'm not going to be starstruck. I'm going to be fine. I gave myself this pep talk. Greg, don't freak out, right? So I show up and it was with Jax, right? So, and to give you a background, so what happened was it was Future, the artist, Future's mother's birthday party, and it was at the Fox Theater in Atlanta. So I show up, I'm shooting his mom, and we did the pre-shoot and everything went well. And I don't know, in the background, he's telling his mom, oh my God, these images are beautiful. I'm glad he took good care of you. I knew none of this. So Future shows up and I was like, oh my God, it's Hendrix, it's Future, it's Mr. Sensational. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, right? And as he shows up and we start shooting, and he says to me, he was like, yo, I appreciate what you did to my mom. I was like, what? So I'm like, breathe and continue on your professional way, right? So we're shooting, and then, I think initially they told me, hey, just let him do his thing. And I'm good for that. I'm going to let him do his thing, but I also want something that's going to be memorable for him and his sister, for him and his mother. So when I got the opportunity to have him behind my backdrop, it was like, let's go. It kicked in. My superpowers kicked in. and I became like 7'2", you know, this chiseled guy with beautiful hair, right? That's blowing in the wind. And I gave him directions, and it was incredible. And he was open and receiving to all of it. You know, it was really just down to earth. He was like, oh man, I appreciate it.
And they were beautiful.
They were absolutely stunning.
Beautiful. And
the thing for me, for Mother's Day, he shared the image. And I was like, you know, I mean, great tag would have been great, but you know,
I was gonna ask you, did he tag you?
But you know, he didn't have to, because here's the
Right,
thing, you know, it was a paid gig, and what I did do is I saw it because I was stalking his page at this time. I was like, his mother's, I know he's going to post that image. Once he did that, I took it and I shared it immediately.
Yeah.
So for me, that was a great experience, and that led to me shooting his daughter's Sweet 16.
Oh, nice.
And that was a concert, bro. They had Mariah the Scientist, Sexy Red. I mean, I wasn't a Sexy Red fan until that it was a vibe. It was Sexy Red, Mariah the Scientist, Travis Scott.
Oh my God.
So cool.
Travis Scott performed, and I was
What a
like,
party.
my God, I'm a super fan now. And then Future, you know, performed as well. So because of great services rendered then, it gave me more, you know,
It's the
later.
experience you give the clients at the end of the day.
It was the experience. And now we're like this, like, hey, Greg, I'm having a Mother's Day thing. Can you come to Atlanta? I'm there, you know, so I'm thankful for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
clients become family, man.
Oh, yeah.
And how did you land that party?
So again, that I landed that party, and this is a shameless plug, you know. So this is as a result of my relationship with the president of, I mean, she's now the president,
Yeah.
Jax, you know, of WIPA, WIPA.org, or WIPA National. She's the current standing president. And at that point, I think I volunteered and I sponsored WIPA Southeast Florida's first inaugural gala.
Yeah,
So from the gala, I debuted the Monochromatic Experience there at the Fontainebleau. It was incredible. You know, everybody was like, oh my God, we really love
It was
this.
so good.
So, I mean, we created some really great
Oh, yeah.
images. You know, Petal, that's my other family. I love them. And from that point, I started landing a bunch of other gigs, you know. And it's about doing the work. It's about showing up, ready to go. And whatever the situation is, if you got, you know, the backdrop was only set up to do maybe 2 people at a time. But it's like, at one point, it's like 16 people. Well, let's go. But that's where the wedding photography and the experience kicked in. So now I'm able to style and pose these people effortlessly where there's no issues at all. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Really good, right?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. My favorite photo, I think, to date is the one from the WIPA Gala
I love
you
that
took.
photo.
I was like,
because it was so dramatic of you. And I was like, oh my
So
God, I've
good.
already seen Carmen. I mean, your
loved
wife is gorgeous. But then
loved
when
it.
I see it in behind my lens, I'm like, she transformed to somebody else. So
I have a great glam team. That's what I say.
It's
all the
beyond
time.
that. It's you.
I mean, yeah,
you.
I saw all those pictures. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it to the gala,
Yeah.
but I was like, I was an old wild. With
appreciate it, man.
With all the images, I mean, and I saw it across Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, it was.
Everybody changing their profile.
That
and
was great.
posting
Yeah.
him.
That was a big deal.
Stacy's from the Colony. Her profile photo is still that one
I
of her on the
love
mic
that.
at the Colony Hotel, and I'm honored. That's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Awesome.
Definitely
So
is.
now let's take it 360. What's
gosh.
been like the most, dramatic or crazy or problematic event that we all have a couple of
So
those.
it's playing in my head. Listen, I'm going to share it, and I'm going to keep it as PG as possible, right? So this is years ago. I shot a wedding, and I walk in. This was a former coworker.
Oh, that's fun.
I walk into her wedding. This is when I was working corporate America. I was in corporate America for like 20 years, right? So I walk into her room, and typically before I walk in, I'm like, "Hey, is everyone dressed? Is everyone,
course.
covered?" Because I don't want, we're going to do the robe shots, and everything else. And I walk in, and I was like, "Wait,
No.
whoa, what's happening?" She was like, "Greg, it's only a vagina." I was like, "No."
Listen, when you do weddings,
Tony, I was like,
when you do weddings,
No.
you see it all. You do.
I was like, I can't explain this, right? So I'll be back. I'll be back. It was crazy. And she didn't care. She was like, "Oh, great. Greg, it's nothing." I was like, "No, it's something. It is. I can't." I was like, "No, your husband got to look at these." And he's going to ask, "How did he take these photos?" I don't want to be that guy to have to explain that.
Oh,
so, yeah.
because she was trying to do like the boudoir style photo.
Yeah, but it was a little bit,
risque.
a lot of risque. If we think, like gymnasts, they turn around, they do a split on the pole. But imagine that she's laying on the bed and it's split. And I was like,
Oh,
I was like, no.
Yeah, she was like taking it to another level.
It was another level.
Yeah. No.
I wasn't ready.
No.
So yeah, and
I don't think that was a wedding session. That was more like an OnlyFans session.
bro. But it was a wedding. And OnlyFans wasn't even here yet. Yeah. Man, I mean, she could have made a lot of money on OnlyFans. That was crazy. Like, she set me up. She set me up.
That was a setup.
Crazy. Yeah, it was just crazy setup.
Wow.
I mean, the day was beautiful thereafter. I couldn't look at her the same anymore.
No, hello.
I was like,
You had seen her.
She was like, "What's wrong, Greg?" Nothing at all. Nothing at all. It was bad. Yeah, but hey, that was very interesting, very much so interesting.
That sounds like
Yeah, that was my word. Yeah, I went home. I was like, "Babe."
Oh, you had to confess?
I was like, "Babe, you wouldn't believe what happened today. You wouldn't believe what happened today." Yeah. But it worked, because it's like, yo, I need someone else to laugh with this with me, because
absolutely,
how do you walk into this and not talk about it? And then now we're here talking about it on the internet. Wow,
yeah,
jeez,
here we go. So for all the viewers.
All the viewers.
Or the viewers too.
Yeah, she will remain nameless.
It'll stay here forever now.
Between us three and like all the
world.
So tell me, where do you see yourself and your
Yes.
companies going in the next 5 years?
Yeah, so in the next 5 years, I'm super excited, because here's the thing. Like, I've made some incredible relationships, and they've made relationships that were made that were non-transactional, Like, we've connected, and I'm like, "Hey, Tony, whatever you need, I got you." Same thing with you. We connect whatever you need. And that's the thing. I think when you genuinely pour back into people, people pour into you and speak your name in rooms that you've yet to enter. So for me, it's about doing the groundwork now, and the company's new. The reality is, like, I just turned the year. I think you had Miami Week, was it September of last year?
Yeah.
Yep.
So September just made the company a year, which is the Monochromatic Experience, a year. But I would tell you, in the year, it has been grinding, building relationships, and now I feel that, oh my God, people are catching on, they're knowing what's happening. And as a result of that, like, as of September, like, I'm booked out every weekend now from September all the way up until December.
That's
of events,
amazing.
and that's a beautiful thing. And that all came from, investing in people, investing in, different events, go and sponsor, go and show up, and just to make more relationships, more meaningful relationships. So in the next 5 years, I want to be, there's a gentleman that's doing it, and I want to be on that level where basically I want to be on certain platforms where the opportunity is presented to me and I can show what I do to the rest of the world. But the biggest thing is, now I want the name, the Monochromatic Experience, to resonate within the South Florida community. And because I know if it's a big deal here, we're very trendy, we're very, we set trends. And I know for sure if it catches on, well, not if, because it is catching on the way it is in South Florida, I know it's going to get to all the other markets. Because when I initially started, I had people inquiring in New York, and initially that they were literally fishing to find out, okay, what the rate is and so forth and so on. But that's okay, because if you can reach those markets and you're doing what you're doing, that means that you're making a noise that people are paying attention to. So that's my biggest thing is now I'm able to show up and shoot 3 events, So I have a staff of 3 where we have 3 confident shooters that we can show up and do things. But I am working on saying, hey, we can do things globally, so I can show up and say, hey, in a day I can do 12 events. But that's what I'm working on doing. But again, I don't want to do that overnight, because I want to make sure that all the safeguards, all the structures, everything's in place before we just catapult and do that.
Absolutely.
We want to take our place. And like you've been in the industry forever. It didn't happen overnight.
No,
you took your time.
25 plus years.
25 years. 25 years, you built it one stair at a time. Mm-hmm. And now, Tony the Hitman, I'm like, damn, when I found out, I was like, wait, Tony the Hitman is your husband? I was like, what?
I think so.
I remember in the days of like growing up with DJ Laz and Zippers and stuff like that. Yeah. And I'm so serious. Funny. Like, I remember hearing your name, so absolutely. Fast forward to now sitting here with you, it's a beautiful thing,
Thank you.
That's what I want. I want what you've established, your legacy. I want what you've established over time. But again, it's with trust. It's with building meaningful relationships. I want to do that, but I want to do it the right way,
Absolutely. That's the only way to do it. You put your foot forward and what you say you're going to do, you deliver to the client and the industry.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All those relationships, that's 100%.
And that's all that matters, relationship. Meaningful relationships, For me, it's not transactional. Like I can speak, like it was, here's another thing, golly. Yeah. Like I got an event, right? And let me talk about this real quick. Let me talk to the camera. I got an event, and that event came because of this woman. right? We were out after an event that we had in the Moxie.
Yes.
Moxie
yes,
South
yes,
Beach. We were
yes.
Moxie South
That's right.
Beach. I was eating some vegan pizza. You know, everyone was just chilling. We were relaxing. And Carmen asked, "Hey, Greg, are you doing Johanna's party?" And I was like, I don't know about the party. And I was like, she was like, "No, Greg, I think this will be a great fit." And no lie,
Yeah.
immediately after leaving that event, I was DM Adelie.
I was like, tell them.
I DM'd Adelie
Message
immediately.
them.
I was like, "Hey, Adelie, listen, I want to sponsor this. I want to sponsor this." I emailed Joanna immediately.
Yeah.
I want to sponsor this. And, you know, a closed mouth don't get fed.
Yeah.
You know, but again, before you can open your mouth, you need to make sure that you've done the work and that you can produce the quality of work for that client that you are going after. And I knew I was capable of doing
of course.
it. So as a result of that,
trust in you, you know?
her plug, her just that word, and again, that's why it's important to surround yourself. Her words gave me that initial like, "Greg, you need to do it."
Yeah.
I jumped on it, I did it, and that party was, oh my God.
It was such a great
That party was so good, and because of that party, I have like landed so many more events because of Gilded Group.
Yeah.
And I can say the same with Pedals Productions. I can say the same with you. And like, I am just honored, you know, even with the DuPont building, with Debs and Roxanne. Like, I have done so many great things because of the relationship that we've built. And I'm super thankful. I am.
That's
I am.
awesome.
Like, you all have blessed me in a way. But again, I know it's not just because, oh my God, you like Greg, but Greg gives trashy photos. No, you like Greg and Greg gives great images and Greg makes you feel great and make me look great. All those things matter.
And you want other people to feel that. I think that that's what's important because, you know, our industry, it's always rushed.
Yes.
We're never feeling good.
Yeah.
We're never looking good. We're always like chaotic. And
Yeah.
I think when we have that opportunity to dress up
Yes.
and look our best, like,
Yes.
why not capture that?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that that's why I'm so big on it.
Yeah.
When people are like, "Oh my God, you got all glammed up," I'm like, well, we have a great
This doesn't
photographer.
happen every day.
We have, you know what I mean? Exactly. So
Yeah.
I just think it's so important, especially for us, like
Yeah.
event industry. We're always used
All
to
this
serving
behind the
people.
scenes, but that's the thing. You're always behind the scenes.
Correct.
Same thing with you.
Yep.
Like Tony, you're always behind the DJ,
It's
making
true.
sure that you're lighting, making sure that everything is right.
Yeah.
You're always behind the scenes. So when that opportunity presents itself, where you can get a great image,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no.
it's a
So
great
it's
thing.
so true.
It's a
It's
great thing.
100%.
I mean, I do it for myself, where I give my editor, I'm like, "Hey, listen, snap a quick photo," because
Yeah.
I want to be in a moment too. I want to, and that's the thing. Like, whatever your theme is, I'm coming dressed to that theme.
I love that.
You know, if you're telling me that, "Hey, Greg, it's all red and we're doing patent leather like Eddie Murphy and Raw," I am coming in my
He's
full
not even
patent leather.
kidding. I love
Listen,
that.
I'm doing that because again, I don't want to be that guy. "Oh yeah, why is he over there in just all in black?" No, I'm part of the decor. What do you mean?
That's true.
I'm part of the aesthetics of the event. It's an extension of me.
Yeah.
So that's important.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I love it.
I can go on and on forever about this. I love this. But this has been really, really good, though. I'm thankful.
No, thank you so much for being here and sharing your experience. And, you know, the monochromatic experience to me is just
Right?
life. It's to me is just everyone has to experience it.
Please,
Like I
and
know
thank
that
you.
I'm just like one of the biggest fans. I really
Yeah.
believe in it. So definitely thank you so much for taking the time for coming here and talking to us about the magic
Yeah.
and your artistry.
Thank you.
Really.
And yeah, I think the key word at the end of it was experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think like I am catering to people who value an experience.
Right.
I'm catering to people who are doing a quinceañera and you're doing at the colonnade. You're spending money at this beautiful venue, right? So I'm not opposed to photo booths. Like I don't ever want that to be the thing. I just want you to know that, hey, I'm a portrait studio. So it's like back in the days when we went to Sears or we went to
Yeah.
like Olin Mills and we got these great portraits. That's what I want to basically give you, because on that, I'm going to give you these beautiful instant photos. I'm going to pose you. I want to give you an experience that's going to be memorable to you. So that now when you're speaking to your auntie or your niece or whoever else that you know that needs the services coming up, you can relate like, "Oh my God, Greg made me look so good."
I love
And
that.
that's what I'm catering to.
Well, I think you just touched on a great thing. I mean, this is not a replacement for a photo
It
booth.
isn't. Absolutely
I
not.
think it's a supplement. You know,
It is.
because photo booth is smaller pictures. it's,
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
You know, it's interactive. It's
Correct.
more like an activation.
Correct.
Like you say, this is more an experience, more
Correct.
like a portrait
Correct.
Correct.
that you could even enlarge. You could use for
Correct.
social media.
Correct. Because I'm giving you high resolution files. Like, and one of the things that I try to keep away from is I have the ability to print. But the reason I choose not to is because it creates a bottleneck. So it's like
Yeah.
now it's more and more and more. Now, if a client demands it, I can give it. But I'm always going to say, like when I did Future's Daughters event, right? They gave me a budget. I subcontracted two photo booth companies. One photo booth company that provided two photo booths. One was the wall because they were printing. The client wanted photos printed right then and there. So it was an easier process for them to do that, but they still wanted me to do my portrait experience at that same booth. So they left the photo booth, they came right over, and it was done. Same thing on the back end. Because like I've had events where, what is the floating mirror, the selfie booth?
Oh, the magic mirror. The mirror.
It's like the selfie booth where the person has it and you take the selfies. Those are great. Roving, instant, you want that, you got it. And that's great because oftentimes when we try to take our own selfies, it's awkward sometimes. Yeah. So those are great things to have throughout. My thing is, again, I'm not opposed to it. I'm very much so, hey, listen, if this is what you want as your experience, do it. Absolutely. What I'm giving you is something a little bit different. They can both coexist. This is what I'm giving you. This is the product I'm giving you. You know, you're getting my like, hey, I'm giving you the directives. I'm giving you that feeling, and I'm going to give you the same outcome as far as like instant photos. The difference is they're going to be edited, you know, a little bit more professional than the photo booth. Yeah. Wow. Awesome. But they both have their places, and I never want to be that guy to be like, oh no, choose me over the photo booth. No.
Yeah, you have space.
They all have their space.
Exactly.
We all have space in this industry.
It all has its purpose, you know.
Absolutely.
People love it. The photo booth, here we go. That's not going to go away.
Correct.
I don't think it is. But this is, like you said, it's an experience. It's something completely different.
Correct.
The backdrops, the stuff that we're doing. It's just... I'm so
excited. It brings creativity to the next level. It definitely does.
And that's another thing because you're always thinking outside the box. Like I know like the stuff that we're doing for like Miami Wedding Week, it was just
y'all need to be there, Miami Wedding Week, because what I have talked to her about, it's going to be crazy. Yeah. Day 2, mind blowing.
Yes. Yeah. For sure.
Mind blowing.
Well, thank you very much, Greg, for coming on the podcast.
My pleasure.
It's great to have you, and hope we could collaborate.
Absolutely. I got you, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Awesome. Absolutely. Same with you, Carmen. I definitely got you. I mean, thank you both for having me.
Amazing.
I love this. This was super dope.
Well, perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Can't wait for the next episode.
Peace.